Somebody asked me, I have 2 points to say in response to that. Firstly, I think that educating every single woman on the planet so that she will be able to make decisions on this complicated topic, I think is possible only in an ideal world, not in a real world. Then I said, how do you know? Then he said, because giving that level of consciousness to every single person seems impossible. Then I asked, how do you know? He said, I don't know. Then I said, if you don't know, then what kind of education are you coming from the think that this is merely utopian? See, please understand, we all are coming from a certain level of spiritual education, and it is that level that decides our opinions on critical matters. So you right now are displaying a certain opinion on a certain critical matter. Now, that opinion is coming from where you are coming from, right? So lack of spiritual education is making you think that spiritual education is merely a utopia. Lack of spiritual education is making you think that spiritual education can't be for all. Then he said, no, let's take an example. If we go on a mission to teach every woman to jump 3 meters high, then I said, no, it's a bad example right in the beginning. We are not talking of jumping 3 meters high. Then he said, if we go on a mission to teach every woman, then I said, why will I go on such a mission? Am I uneducated? Am I uneducated enough to go on such a mission? He said, no. I mean, you are saying that we will get everyone to pass this threshold. Then I said, yes. I am saying that depending on what I am seeing and where I am coming from. You see, if you keep insisting, taking your 3 meters and 5 meters analogy forward, let's say that your height is 1 meter and I tell you to touch a point that is 1.5 meters high. You will say it is impractical. Just as you said that educating all girls is impractical. What is practical or impractical depends on your own self-awareness. Do you even know yourself enough to decide what is practical and what is not? What you decide to practice becomes practical, and what you decide to practice depends on how much you know yourself. It is a decision, not a situation. Corrupting an entire population seems so easy to us, right? Corrupting an entire population never appears like a utopia, but educating an entire population seems so unrealistic that you are highly dismissive and resistant to the idea. Then he said, no, I am not resistant to the idea. Even if we talk about corrupting the entire population, I don't think we can corrupt anyone. We may go about corrupting 95 to 96%, but it is not practical to reach 100. Then I said, right. The question is then about 4% of the women who cannot be educated. He said, yes. Then I said, the question is then worthless. You see, leave those 4% aside. Abortion as a matter becomes big enough only when it concerns the entire 100%. If you are talking about the 4% outliers, then there are outliers in every child. Then the question becomes irrelevant. Then he said, no, The question I am asking is on a micro level. I am trying to understand if the mother has a philosophical right to decide what to do with her unborn child. Then I said, depends on the mother. All rights are carried by certain individuals. Your first right is to be conscious. And once you are conscious, then you have all the rights to do as you please. And if you are not conscious, then irrespective of what the Constitution bestows upon you, existentially, you actually have no rights. That's the thing with laws, law books, and constitutions. They give rights to everybody equally, but they also forbid everybody from doing certain things without giving due consideration to the internal situation of the individual. No, everything is out of bounds for everybody. Existentially, it just cannot be. But that's the problem with laws. They become universal, very general, and when it comes to touchy things like abortion, that's a big problem, a huge problem. So, focus on raising a conscious society. Don't dismiss this thing as just idealistic blabber. It's not. It's the only solution that you can have. And once you have invested enough in rightly teaching your girls, don't interfere. It's their life and their body. They will know. But you have all the rights, rather the responsibility, the great responsibility to raise your girl well. Once you have raised her well, leave her. Then he said, yes, sir. I am not advocating the other side. I am just trying to understand myself. Then I said, please understand. Without developing her ability to decide rightly for herself, that is what I mean by consciousness. Developing her ability to decide rightly for herself, all that you can have is external intervention in some form. Either a form that says it is alright till certain months, or a form that says it is alright in certain cases. Would you like such a thing to happen to your body or to your personal life? He said, I am just trying to understand. I don't know yet. Then I said, even I am trying to understand along with you. We are together in this. It's a very intimate thing. Would you like anybody to decide or dictate who you are going to sleep with? Then he said, definitely no. Definitely no. Now, do you see that the issue of pregnancy is very closely linked to this? He said, yes. Then I said, so how can we allow someone else to have say in this? Can you have a law? Or the Constitution telling you that you should sleep with such a person, not marry such a person, definitely marry such a person. Would you like that? Then he said, no, definitely not. Then I said, and that is when it concerns a body outside of your body. There is the girl and she exists physically outside of your body, and even then you don't want the state to interfere. As a young man, you would be ferociously against such a situation. Somebody is coming and telling you, you have to definitely fall in love with this girl. He said, yes, maybe I will rebel. Then I said, you will rebel, you will be livid, and you will probably slap that person. If I were you, that is what I would do. Now think of a situation. The two of us being men have to actually exercise some imagination. There is a body inside your body and somebody else is telling you what to do with it. Why should you tolerate? The only thing you can do is, I am saying internally, empower the woman to make the right decision for herself. Don't try to bind her in laws or something that won't work. That's stupid.